N is in Nancy, S is in Sarah, T is in Thomas, L is in Larry, E is in Easter, R is in Richard. Margaret Ratner Kunstler spelled the same way. And Grania, Grainne O'Neill.
You're all members of the legal team.
Yeah, and Elizabeth Fink, who wasn't on the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last question that I couldn't was able to record. It was a strong film, but you said how his case can be seen as a political case. If you could just sum it up in a nutshell.
That was hard enough the first time.
Yes.
All right. I think what I said is that the United States government has discretion over its cases, over who it chooses to prosecute and why. And choosing to prosecute Jeremy Hammond for exposing corporate secrets and government spying is nothing if not a political decision.
Is there anything else you would like democracy now audience to know about this case today?
Oh, I don't know. I
wanted to ask one quick question. I don't know if anybody's got their cameras back on, but there seemed to be some sort of confusion about whether there was 250 or more victims.
Yeah.
Based on her assertion that her husband wasn't a victim and therefore there wasn't a conflict of interest. Do you think this is going to factor into his final sentencing?
I mean, some confusion during the proceeding about how many victims there were.
It seemed like it wasn't clear.
It was. I think we were just caught off guard because we didn't want to be put in the position of putting out the government's evidence. The government, if the government has evidence of 250 victims or more, they have evidence of 250 or more victims.
Right.
We're not. That's not our place to say.
Right. It just seemed to me when I was at the hearing where they were trying to recuse her, and she said that, well, my husband wasn't a victim of this hack, even though his email was published, even though in Weave's trial they said that publishing email addresses was criminal. It seemed to me that there was, like, they just were just making it up. I don't know, if they, like, as they were going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll see, as the case moves forward, what the injuries the victims are alleging are. That'll be part of what we'll see in the probation report, and we'll respond to it as necessary.
Thanks. Two quick questions.
Sure.
Why were the 8 other hacks? What's the significance of the 8 other hacks being a part of this?
I think in order to give Jeremy the government having him take responsibility for those hacks. I think those hacks represented jurisdictions that were interested in prosecuting him for those actions. So, in order to get that immunity, he had to take that responsibility.
And so does that mean that he does not face a potential jurisdiction at any state level then? Or is that an open question?
It doesn't bind anyone, it doesn't bind any state. It only binds the federal government.
Okay, so just only other U.S. attorneys. So what about that? Did that factor into the defense team's decision today? And what does that look like going forward as far as
potential state liability?
Yeah, could Texas, on behalf of Stratford, for instance, do something?
There may be somewhat of an issue of double jeopardy, as he is taking responsibility for many of those acts here. If the states think they can do it, then they can try to do it.
And that's not foreclosed.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, sorry, just for the fine and restitution, I got confused in terms of like what each of the. I just want to make sure I get the details right.
Yeah, those things confuse me too. It might be better for you to email me and for me to.
Okay.
Some of them are kind of repetitive of one another, and I don't want to get it wrong.
Okay, cool. What's your email?
Sure, it's Sarah with an H.
Okay, great. And you'll be tagging me today.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, thank you,
Nice to
Sarah.
meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Are you coming to help the public?
I guess that's that. Press conference at this point.
The admonition to journalists is protect your sources. Jeremy Hammond was and is a source. Stratford is a source. Don't just go on and use his material and walk away from Jeremy Hammond.
Can I just ask you, what does it say in society today when Stratford, the crimes they committed, they're not even persecuted, but someone who releases all the illegal acts that they did is persecuted?
Well, Luke, we want Stratford prosecuted, not persecuted. What they're doing to Jeremy Hammond, what they did to Aaron Swartz, what they're doing to Bradley Manning, what they're doing to Julian Assange, what they're doing to Barrett Brown, that's persecution. What they're doing is they don't want any of the secrets of the empire disclosed, and they're coming down with a sledgehammer. The best way to describe it is it's sledgehammer justice, and that's what they're doing. And there's no doubt that after the Stratford email, Stratford ought to have been investigated. Absolutely. The material in there, their surveillance of activists, their tie-in, their connections with our own State Department, etc. That's what ought to be investigated, and not the whistleblowers, not the people who disclose the crimes of our police, our FBI, and our private intelligence services.
And my last question is, the other defendants in Ireland and the UK, what was their sentencing? What did they receive, or what are they?
I'm not sure how many are doing any time. The sentences range from 0 to 32 months. How much of that was suspended? But you can see it's compared to what Jeremy is facing, a gross injustice. But Jeremy receives more than time served. A gross injustice.
Why is that the U.S. is persecuting Jeremy Hammond more than other people involved in this league internationally and not getting the same deal?
I mean, the U.S. under its Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, its other statutes, is really, as I said, going after people with a sledgehammer. Other countries are not prosecuting as seriously, maybe with the understanding that what these young people are doing, who are really our truth heroes, our truth tellers, what they're doing is really helping us understand what our governments do. Maybe those governments understand that. This government, this repressive government at home, and particularly repressive abroad as well, doesn't want people to know about what it's doing.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate everything you're doing. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so much.
So that concludes, I believe, at this time, this press conference in regards to this specific matter. Next time I'll have you all is during his sentencing. Is during Jeremy Hammond's sentencing. I will do my best to be there for that. And I'll give you live footage from there afterwards. Oh, I definitely think that the United States government's trying to make an example out of him. It's not even that they're angry, that they're overall that angry. I just think they're trying to make an example. And it's wrong. It's not reflective of what a tolerant and liberal justice system is supposed to be. You know, yesterday was Memorial Day. Thank the soldiers, thank the troops for dying and fighting to defend our freedoms. Well, you know what? That's nice and all, but I don't think they died to defend something like this. Oh, well, thank you for being on this stream, Carrie M. But yeah, I'm going back to what I was saying. I don't think the soldiers died to defend something like this. This was not part of the plan. What?
What are you doing?
I'm getting out of the rain soon.
Yeah, I'm going to find some coffee. Isn't it a sad reflection in society when
somebody like a reflection of our society, I should say, when two cops gunned down a young African American male in Brooklyn, yet walk off scot-free. Yet when someone decides to make some information public, he gets almost a lifetime worth of prison, potentially. That is not what a free society is supposed to be about. So, with that final word in there, I'd like to thank you all for watching this edition of the Pella Report. I have uploaded the press conference to my YouTube channel. You can, hold on. Subscribe to my channel at TPR space The Pella Report. TPR space, one word, The Pella Report. For those of you who might be new to my stream, follow me on Twitter at ThePellaReport. ThePella Report. Also, follow A-Team New York on on Twitter, A-Team NY. Also, like our page, A-Team New York on Facebook. And if you feel obligated to, donate to my WePay account, because this is a crowd-funded show. I'd like to thank you all for watching this edition of the Pella Report. I will be with you all again when Jeremy Hammond is being sentenced, and I'll see you then. So thank you for watching this edition of the Pella Report. I'm your host, Michael Pellegatti, and I'm signing out. Have yourselves a good day, folks.